following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, where every man in my thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me. Big up the girls inside the party, let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your wanna be, Jimmy Star's new celebrity.
We'll take you out to Jimmy Star's.
Hey ho, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We have a tremendous show for you guys today, and then when that's done, it's done. So before we get started, let me say hi to my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Did you ever have your house painted?
Cindy has.
Everything upside down.
That's why we're in the window.
We're sitting by this curtain that looks like crap because this room is dismantled. Everything's been taken down so the painters can paint furniture in the foyer. It's just a mess.
Furniture everywhere. We're stepping over everything, you guys.
I mean, it's a mess. It'll only be for 2 weeks, and then, of course, the house goes back to being perfect. But
the show must go on,
Mm-hmm.
and we've got a great show today, you guys. I'm super excited. Our first guest today is going to be Jennifer Moriarty, who we've been friends with, but we didn't really know because we were Facebook friends. And then we spent a lot of time talking to her at Hollywood Hotness. And Ron was like, you got to get her on the show. So we got her on the show. She's coming on in a little bit. And then we have a good friend of mine, Hilton Ariel Ruiz, coming on. And I'm producing a film with him. And it's going to be a phenomenal film. It's called Zombie with a Shotgun 2 Reloaded. And it's fabulous, and I'm super, super excited about it, based on a comic book. So we have two great guests today. People are showing up in the chat room, so we got to basically say, B. Claudia says she totally knows what you're talking about because her whole apartment, she's been out of it for months, and it's being renovated because they had all the damage in it.
Oh, right.
So, hey, B's in the chat room.
I mean, in order to we have a house that's a U. In other words, the master bedroom's on this side and the guest bedrooms are on the other side. So there's a U that you have to walk around a U. Get it? You can't go from room to room. If you're in our bathroom, you have to walk from our bathroom to our bedroom, down the foyer, past the dining room, past the living room, past the foyer, past another foyer, down the foyer, down to the other bedroom, and of course the room we're in. Now, picture furniture all over. So you have to weave, jump over, slide under, and come around to get where we are now. God forbid there was an earthquake, we're dead, because we'll never get out of this room. You couldn't find your way out.
They're painting, and then they're going to be carpeting. So, there's the old floor sitting here. Everything. It's just, there's tools everywhere. There's paint buckets everywhere. I mean, it's just a mess.
I should be used to it, because I decorate every 15 minutes. Yes, Astro, I love you, my darling. See, he gets upset because he hears Daddy saying things that it's making a beautiful house. And wall-to-wall carpeting in this room so you and your sister can lay on nice, comfortable carpeting. Say hi to everybody. Hi, everybody. My name is Astro.
So what's up, chat room? We want to say hi. B. Claudia's joined us. Cindy Lady Lake is in the chat room. Stefan Daniel Bell's in the chat room. People are coming in. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Hey, Stefan, you still never told me how you got that gorgeous Tina to love you. What did you do? Give her some kind of a magic potion or something?
Anyway,
she's so beautiful and so sweet. I really love Tina. I think she's one of the nicest people that we know.
Absolutely.
Really and truly, I'm not blowing smoke either. She's really a very deliciously sweet, nice person.
So we want to thank
brilliant woman as well.
Yes, we want to thank everybody for tuning into the show, you guys, on Apple Podcasts. We want everybody to continue tuning in on Apple Podcasts. We're number 21 on there right now. We're ahead of Andy Bravo.
Yeah, we beat out Andy Cohen. How do you like that on his show? Well, that's a biggie. But now I must, you know, I really should call Jimmy's assistant and find out if, in fact, today is Marcel Waltz's red carpet premiere of his movie. Because we don't want to drive into LA like we did last time because Jimmy got his dates wrong. So are you sure?
I am sure, and I even saw Sarah French and Marcel posted it on Facebook today, you guys. So as soon as the show's over, we're going to hop in the car and drive to LA.
If not, I will have you assassinated.
And we're going to go see the new movie, The Garden of Eden. Is that it? The Garden of Eden, I think.
Evil, The Garden of Evil.
No, I think it's Eden.
Oh, I like my title better, The Garden of Evil. But what
we'll let you guys know.
No, what I really like is the theater in which they're doing their feature film and red carpet. In that little plaza is the best pizza place in the world. For California, anyway. Now, it doesn't compete with New York. But anyway, no, New York pizza is the best because of the water and because of the Italians that make it. You know, we don't put jalapeno in our pizza. Pizza out here tastes like tacos. So it's a big difference. A New York pizza is different, totally different. Anyway.
Also, you guys, I want to thank everybody who's been the new followers I have in social media. It's helping a lot. And you guys, my new social media handles across the board are This Is Jimmy Star. And I Googled This Is Jimmy Star yesterday, and there's almost 5 million Google search results on it. So thanks everybody for looking in and please follow me on TikTok. I have 14 million plays on TikTok for my stupid little videos. So please follow me on all the different social platforms because it's helping a lot.
Tell me he's not an egomaniac.
It's so much
fun.
Tell me that it's Garden of Eden.
Garden of Eden.
Yes.
I like Garden of Evil better.
Well, they say this one's going to be gory.
I know.
I can't wait. And we're going to see all our friends at the red carpet, you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I will have to do this at the film. You know, I look down a lot because I really don't enjoy blood and guts and stabbing and shooting, and I don't care for that.
I love it. I can't wait.
It was not from my day. You know what I mean? As I've said before, in my day, if somebody got shot in a movie, you never saw blood.
Yeah, you didn't see
it. And Dracula, even him, when he bites your neck, you really don't see too much. Christopher Lee went a little far with it back in the 60s, and we were shocked because we saw blood on his face, and we were not used to that. We were used to movies that had censors, and the censor people said, no, 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 too violent, too gory, too sexy, too whatever. They got to the point where, listen to this, if a woman is lying in bed and her husband comes into the bedroom, this is in a movie now, he's not allowed to get on the bed. He must have one leg on the floor. That's what the censors had. So if you watch movies, you'll always see the husband sitting on the edge of the bed. But today, of course, he's not in the bed, but he's in her. Times have changed.
We watch a lot of Turner Classic Movies, you guys, and even Tubi has like old movies on it. So we've been watching a lot of great old movies. Last night we watched a great Humphrey Bogart movie.
Somebody said to me, Ron, and I'm not blowing smoke up my own kazoo, Ron, how come you're such a good actor? And I said, because I learned from the great masters of film. I'm a Hollywood freak. I've been around since the 40s and the 50s. And I learned growing up how to become, how to create, how to do what I'm supposed to do in a script. And it comes quite easy to me because I've been doing it, you know, for quite a while. It shows.
Humphrey Bogart is awesome, and Ron even has a classical Humphrey Bogart doll that I bought for him many years ago. And
I asked Lauren, you know, Lauren Bacall, his wife, when I sat on her lap. I sat on her lap at a benefit because they didn't have a chair for me. It was $1,500 a plate. And I think there were 20 people at the dining room table, and the people that paid $1,500 a plate to be at her benefit for her, I forgot what it was for, maybe United Jewish or something. But anyway, when I got there, I was standing around like a moron. Everyone's seated, ready to eat. They didn't order a plate for me to eat, nothing. So I said to Lauren, I said, gee whiz, I feel bad. I thought you really invited him. She said, yeah, you were invited here to cover the interview. I said, but I don't have a chair. She said, well, sit on my lap. Don't you think I did? And I sat on Lauren Bacall's lap. She thought it was hysterical. So then she said, would you please get this man a chair? And they went out somewhere and brought me in a chair. But I put the chair right next to her. And she was so sweet. She held my hand at one point while we were talking. I thought Lauren Bacall was just one of the truest broads you'll ever meet. She was a broad. She was no classy Hollywood dame. She was a Brooklyn broad. She cursed, she smoked, she drank, she talked tough. She was a delightful person.
I love it. I think it's fabulous.
Betty Bacall, or Betty, yes, Betty Bacall. No, her last name was not Bacall. I forgot what her name was, her real name. But she was a nice Jewish girl from Brooklyn who married Humphrey Bogart, but was a great actress.
Absolutely. And we watch a lot of Humphrey Bogart movies just because we both like him a lot. We watch a lot of Cary Grant movies because I love Cary Grant. And well, I also like, what's the other guy I like? The guy who like had dated his daughter's daughter. He did that Christmas movie where he dates his son's girlfriend.
Oh,
what's that guy's
Charlie
name?
Ruggles.
No, not Charlie Ruggles. No, he's oh shoot, I forgot his name now.
The Christmas movie.
He also did he does a lot of cowboy movies. I like him so much. He's a huge star. I can't think of his name anyway. When I think of it, I'll remember. And the other movie that everybody should see is A Letter to Three Wives. Because I love that movie so much. Not him, no. That him I like. Rando, I forgot his name too.
No, don't throw them at me so quickly. I know all their names, but when you throw
the guy who does
when you throw it at me quickly, I get confused.
No, he's always in the westerns. The guy I like. Oh shoot, I forgot.
Randolph Scott.
No, shoot. Oh, I'll figure him out anyway. I'll have to figure it out. Like now that'll bother me that I can't figure it out. I just. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, where did you get to be my age?
That's just funny.
You were sitting there like.
Also, I want to just do a big shout out to all the places you can listen to our show, you guys, because our first guest is here and we're going to bring her on. So you guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Please listen on Apple Podcasts because that's the best place for us to listen. But if you don't want to listen on Apple Podcasts, we're also on SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Prime. And so please just listen anywhere that you're listening because we love it. And no, it's not James Stewart, B. Claudia, and also Stefan wrote that she says hi. Tina says hi.
Hi,
and
Tina.
that meeting her was like the greatest day of his life for him.
For him?
Yes.
You bet your ass. I mean, he's a little weird.
He's fabulous.
He's fabulous. He's a genius, by the way. He knows everything there is to know. You can call him up and ask him a question. How many stars float around the moon? He'll tell you. But he's a little weird. She is absolutely the most well, she's a nurse as well. And she's a very stable gal. So it was a wonderful union because he's crazy and she's not. And that makes for interesting people.
Gary Cooper. I think it's Gary Cooper.
Gary Cooper, yeah.
Is it Gary Cooper?
Gary Cooper, yeah.
Was he the one in that movie?
Yes.
Gary Cooper, you guys. See, that's the one I was thinking of was Gary Cooper. I love Gary Cooper. So anyway, we're going to bring on our first guest, you guys. Let's bring her in and see if we can see her and hear her. Hey!
Well, look at you. Look so beautiful. Look at you all up. Wow.
Does that mean I can lose the jacket because it's bloody hot?
Oh, you can lose. Well, leave it on for like 3 minutes and then take it off. Let's let everybody see you.
Let me see. Your eyes look great. Beautiful eye makeup.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, really, you look terrific.
All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the incredibly talented and beautiful Jennifer Moriarty. Hello and welcome to the show. Yay!
Thank you, guys.
Not all the women that come on our show try to look beautiful. I had one that looked so disgusting, I told her to get off my show. No, really. She came on our show looking like she washed a toilet. Her hair was piled on her head, no makeup, in a ripped, dirty sweatshirt. She looked like she crawled out from under a rock. You know, we always look decent. And we would, you know, we like a little respect. We respect you by looking decent for you, and we expect it back. So I told her, I said, please, next time you come on a show, if ever, which I doubt, I said, put makeup on, have your hair done. You know, and what was she? She was a very famous girl.
She won.
Famous.
She won the big singing competition in England. I don't know what it's
No,
called.
Australia.
No, England. X Factor. She's a huge star, and the show actually with him telling her that she looks terrible like that got like a zillion plays. People couldn't believe that he like told her that.
No, but you know what? They all agreed.
Yes, they did agree.
They all said, "You're right, Ron. She's a pretty girl, and she's in show business, and we're not allowed to look like shit to people. I mean, people want us to be Lana Turner, Cary Grant, and Rock Hudson. I'm Rock Hudson, of course."
I'll be Lana for the day. Or
Yeah,
Lana Turner.
I love it.
So did you have a good time? Did you have a good time?
I'm sorry, at the Halloween Hotness?
Yeah.
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, it was great. I wish they had food. That was the only thing for all of our hungry spouses. But no, it was beautiful. And the figurines, if you haven't been to the Wax Museum here, it is amazing, I think. Don't you?
Yes.
But the reason why they didn't have food was because they were under construction.
On the roof.
And the roof, last 2 years ago, we had food on the roof. We took over the entire roof garden. Excuse me. So that's the reason. But next year we'll have food for you.
It's amazing. My parents supported St. Jude's from the time I was a little girl. And so that's always been such a, you know, a charity that's had our heart. And I think it's for such a good cause. But how did they do? Did they raise a lot of money?
Yeah, they raised over $30,000.
Wait, did they raise a lot of money? Give me a break.
Right.
$30,000 is nothing today. You know what? They give the homeless people $1 million, and they're horrible people. They're ruining our cities. They're giving them all this money to house them instead of giving them medical conditions. Crazy people, you know. Give them help. We have to go shake our tits and balls to make $30,000
to give the same.
Well, everybody there had their tits out.
Oh, they love you in the chat room, by the way. They're all saying how gorgeous you are.
Jennifer,
I love the jacket.
you didn't happen to
they like the jacket. I'll keep it on.
I like the jacket.
I was shocked. I will say, thank you so much, Jimmy. I will say I was very surprised at some of the outfits at the costume thing. But you know what? I mean, Hollywood, I've just gotten to understand it seems like anything goes, and I'm trying to take a little bit higher road, I suppose. Maybe that's because, I've been around for a while, but I just was really happy that there were so many people there, and, that it seemed to be a worthwhile event.
Yeah, but I think our government could have given us a couple of $1 million instead of throwing it to Russia and all over the friggin' world. We need it here. And who was it that used to say, feed us first, then the world? Somebody very famous during the Second World War said, feed us
She's
first.
not old enough to be around for the Second World War.
Maybe
Thank you.
President Roosevelt, I think during the Depression, said, let's feed ourselves first, then the world. And that's what America has to do. We shouldn't have to beg to make money to save the lives of children.
Yeah, children. It's so true.
Actually, them and the Shriners, because I always see the Shriners commercial, and I always think, oh my God, these are really, good organizations really trying to help children. And if you don't help children, you're in trouble because they're the future.
It's not that. It's just that, God forbid, could you imagine a family that is totally upset by what has happened to the child? It's not just the child. It's a ring, like throwing a rock in the water. It makes rings. And that child is the problem, but you know what it does to the mother, the father, the aunt, the grandmother.
Yeah, the family.
I mean, it's just devastating what it does to a family. And if we could help it by curing the child, my God, what a miracle we give the family.
Absolutely.
And I
love St. Jude's.
I tell you the truth, and I'm not lying. If I won the lottery, I would give a ton of money to St. Jude.
Well, I grew up in a family where most of my family's gone. They've died of disease, and I had a brother when he was 13 come down with a type of encephalitis, and he went into Children's Hospital and they saved him, but said he had about 4 or 5 years to live before the scar tissue in the brain stopped the circulation of spinal fluid. And that kid died when he was 19. He drowned in a surfing accident just off of the Newport Beach Pier. And, you know, I think all of these things that you know, focus on these charities for the kids. It's a personal commitment that my husband and I, my partner and I here have. And I don't know. I mean, it's very difficult, very emotional. I didn't know we were going to talk about this because I didn't bring any tissue. I might start crying and then bleed this makeup off.
We don't know what we're going to talk about. That's what makes the show so much fun. I have no idea. There's no script here that we don't follow anything. It's what comes to my demented brain.
I just make little notes like what your Instagram is, some of the movies you've been in.
Oh, see, like my comments on, I met you, I flipped over you, I thought you were terrific, and I insisted that you come on our show, and I threatened you. I said I will have your legs broken if you don't come on our show. I don't know if you remember that.
And her husband, you guys, is gorgeous. He looks like Kevin Costner.
Yeah, your husband is gorgeous.
Oh, he's sitting right here. You have to come just say hi to these guys.
Put his face
Come
on.
on, and say hi. Come on.
Let all the women see how lucky you are.
And how lucky he is.
How lucky he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look how handsome.
How's it going?
Good. It's good. It was wonderful meeting you at Halloween Hotness also.
Right. And
Yeah, that was really fun. I love that place.
And if you were a gay single man, I could have fixed you up with some terrific guys.
Well, you just never know.
Who would kill for you?
Maybe about 3 years. I don't know how this happens.
All right, so you guys,
bye, honey.
Bye. This is so you guys. Did I already have you say hi to the people in the chat room? I forgot. No, I didn't. Right. So say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hi, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I love that. It's so exciting to be here with you all.
So basically, I went on Google and Googled you. Yep. And it says you started out doing commercials and you did a Chobani. Is that the yogurt? You did a yogurt commercial.
Yeah, you know, I moved out to Los Angeles. We were living in Charleston. I have 3 kids. I have a 31-year-old son and a 28-year-old.
31-year-old son.
Wow.
I know.
Who did
you? And I've got a 28.
Hold it, Jen. Who did your work?
Oh my God.
You don't look like you have a 31-year-old kid, my dear.
Right. Should we be looking for anything? I will say I started Botox. I probably wouldn't say this on air, but I think everybody out here does. I started taking really good care of my skin because my mom was so beautiful and not a wrinkle on her face, never had Botox, never a stitch of anything, just used great skincare products. And she got me really young, eye cream, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Botox at 41 and yeah. So I hope your viewers, please don't do any hate on that. But out here, it's a tough town.
Who's going to do hate? Tell them to mind their fucking business. But they're going to do hate. Who gives a shit what they think? You know what? I've never had anything done to my face, and I'm 83 years old. So people say, how do you look so good? I say, I never washed my face in my life. My mother never washed her face in her life. You know how we washed our face? A little olive oil on a cotton pad. We put it all over our face, and with the tissue, we wipe it, and the dirt and the tissue is dark. Look at my skin. I mean, if you could see, I have skin like a young person.
I can't believe you're 83.
Yeah, I am. And I believe that if you leave your skin alone without all that crap, so many people do things. Skin is skin, and you can't put so many chemicals into it. If you're doing disturb the growth of the skin is natural. You
know, it's crazy. So I don't know what even the prior question was because we got off on this, but so many. My daughter is a model. My middle daughter is a model for Wilhelmina, and she works out in New York every week. She flies out there, and the reason I think she's booked so much is she said, "Mom, these young girls are getting all this Botox and injections and all this stuff," and she said, Nobody anywhere else in the country where I work wants that look. They're all like, what is going on in Los Angeles? And, you know, when you come out here from a place, I mean, I was born and raised in LA, went to Newport Harbor High School. Then, you know, I've lived all over the country. My husband was from Seattle, so we lived out there for 20 years and raised my kids. But when I came back out here from Charleston, there is so much pressure if you want to work in this business to change everything about you. And I am like, I will say, guys, I am guilty. You know, if you look up photos of when I'm young, I look a little bit different. You try and fit in, but really what got to me, I think in the last couple of years, is the ageism out here is obscene. And you know, my whole commitment to the art right now is, because I was a stage actress for many years, my commitment now to the art is writing movies that are fighting that in a compelling way, stories about middle-aged women and men who have something to say, because I wasn't done yet. You know, I wasn't ready to go and retire. And when I first came out here and got that Chobani commercial, the funny thing about it was that nobody wanted to rep me. I could not find an agent. I went to acting classes 3 days a week. And guys, I studied with people from the Actors Studio. I have my master's in theater arts. I have my undergraduate, Boston College. I went to drama school at Emerson College, super prestigious programs. I taught high school. I coached. And I would go into these classes, and I will never forget, the turning point for me was I did Blanche from Streetcar. And this guy had this whole showcase, and all these directors and different people, casting directors came in, agents. And these guys were like, "Holy, you're freaking amazing. Like you're Jessica Lange, you're just incredible, blah, blah, blah." And so then I raised my hand at the end of it. I said, what would it take for you guys to represent me, to sign me? We don't have any room on our roster for someone like you. And it just got to be that story over and over and over again. And I'm like, you know what? This is really screwed up out here. I'm going to start writing stories about people like me and people like your viewers, people who are real, who have something to say after 40 or 50 or 60 or 70. And that's why I think I'm
80.
An 80.
I love that, by the way. Do you know Monique Parent?
I don't.
Okay, you need to meet Monique Parent, because she is like you. She's phenomenally gorgeous. Yeah, she works like a lot.
She's like 100 years old, and she's fabulous.
She's really
no
gorgeous.
Chicken. She's no young chicken, but she looks like a young chicken. And she did it not with chemicals or lifts. She did it with herbs and food.
And I just saw her. She's on a TJ Maxx commercial that plays all the time here in the desert, and she's in the TJ Maxx commercial.
Yeah, she just ate right and had oxygen, and she did all the right things.
Right.
No smoking. She didn't do drugs, smoking, or any of that shit. She's just driven.
I think we're going to see her later today, actually.
Yeah, and she's in person, she's beautiful. Now,
like you,
I think she's got to be what, in her 60s, late 60s?
I think middle 60s.
I think maybe 67, 68.
Right.
I'll stalk her in person, 45.
Wow.
And no scars, and no.
But she has natural hair color, though, grayish white hair.
Absolutely stunning, stunning woman. Which goes to tell you that sometimes we have to act our age. Sometimes when we try to look like our children, a lot of women dress like their daughters. Their daughters are 16 with ripped and stuff. Get over it. It doesn't make you look young. It makes you look weird. Because Grace Kelly never would have worn a pair of ripped jeans.
Right.
Well, you wear ripped jeans.
No, I don't have it. I'm like looking down going, oh, good God in heaven. Do I have ripped jeans on? I do not.
Have you ever seen mothers that wear their daughters' clothes?
But he means like ripped up, like the 12-year-olds are wearing, not like, like a little hole or something. But
no, not even
being sophisticated.
No. Listen, in my day, Jane Russell, who was my best friend, we hung out together for years. That's how come I'm Ron Russell. I took her name when I started off. And Jane and I would talk about fashion, and she'd say, oh, I hate this long, stringy hair. In our day, Ron, we used to all have different hairdos. I said, you're right. Jane Russell said about the dunk on her interview with me. She said, the jeans today that are all scarred and ripped are the most expensive. And she couldn't get over women wearing these jeans looking like slobs, because she said on my interview, she said, in my day, we all dressed to look the best we could because it was who we were. They were stars. You never saw Jane or any of those women not dressed right. Although she came to my house in jogging clothes and sneakers. But
out in public.
But not in public. In public, Jane always looked like Jane Russell. So, you know, it's something that we should keep in mind, that just because it's fashionable for the young, it's not necessarily becoming.
You always look good. Any picture I ever see you in, you look good.
She looks
You're
like
gorgeous now.
She could be, right now, she could be a 1950 movie actress. She looks so good. She looks well groomed. She looks decent. She looks clean. She looks like she smells
Ron
good.
doesn't like the current trends of how, you know, when you go to like we go to a lot of premieres. You probably do too.
You
I know
know,
you had one the other night for Spider Baby.
Yes.
And, where a lot of the women, and they all wear, what he calls them is clit covers. You know, skirts, their dresses that barely cover anything, and they all look like hookers. Yeah, you know, he can't stand that.
There's
That's fabulously graphic. Thank you for sharing that.
Jennifer, this is a fun show. There's one person in particular that I really have to tell her to bathe. She wears all the time halters, or she doesn't shave under her arms. And she has tattoos going all over her body. She's covered with tattoos, and she smells. And I really want to tell her, listen, the tattoos I could vomit from, you know, but the smelling is killing me.
Yeah.
And she loves to, and she's a tall woman, and she loves to put her arm around my neck when we meet. And that stench of arm odor. I mean, really and truly.
You had no idea what you were getting involved with.
I really, you know what? I really didn't. And I bet your viewers, I wonder if they knew.
No, they know.
No,
Believe me.
but when
We're number 21 right now in the world out of like 1.9 million podcasts.
They must love it. I wasn't prepared. You know, my kids are they all think it's quite funny, but I don't get out of the house without makeup on. I was raised, my mom was so funny. She'd say, you know, Jenny, I have to put on my face before I get my coffee, and then we can go. And so she was late to everything because her makeup was very elaborate. And I swore when I was a little surfer girl at 13, I said, I am never going to be like that. Like, I'm never going to wear that much makeup. And I don't know, my friends call it war paint. The more I wear, the more stressed I usually am. But I grew up this way. So
when you walk down the road, everybody's looking at you.
Yep.
And I think that's a huge compliment.
No, you are. Listen, we don't blow smoke up anybody's butt here. Like, we tell it like it is. If you were a sloppy dog, I would be talking about your dog. I would be asking you, are you as attractive as your dog?
No, I think I'm better looking. My 3 dogs are all rescues. I'm really an animal advocate. Yeah, we have 3 rescues that are all over 12 years old. They're all senior dogs.
Yay.
Now put your hand up. Look how beautiful your nails are. You're so well groomed. I bet your arms don't smell either.
No, listen, when you are older in this town, and I say that with all due respect to anybody of any age, the young girls who are trying to make it, or the women, the ladies older than I, it is a monstrous task. And all my friends back home are like, what's taking you so long to get, you know, why aren't you on a sitcom, or why aren't you doing a soap, or why aren't you? And I said, you have no idea how competitive it is, how people look at you, what it's like to go into a room and have somebody telling you you're too tall, you're too skinny, you're too blonde, your eyes are too scary. I mean, I have been told the worst stuff. And, you know, I was thinking about an audition that I had when I first got here, and it was for a very big movie. My coach actually got me this audition, and I was in there and I decided to throw something really crazy at the director, and I did this heavy-duty Southern accent. And when I opened up the door, this A-list actress had her ear to the door with the producer listening on the outside. They had already attached this woman, and she did every bloody thing that I did in the audition, she did in the movie. And I realized at that time, it's like, if you don't know someone or you're not willing to work really freaking hard and start someplace, even if it's at, you know, the smallest movie part or a little cameo here or there, you're never going to get anywhere in this town. And for me, my armor is, this is probably my armor. I guess you know, I'm an insecure actor like everybody else, but I feel like my goals are different. I don't need to do a sitcom. I don't need to be on a soap opera. I want to make great films, and I want to make art that makes people turn around and notice, you know, to make a difference. I don't want to do, you know, I mean, obviously, I think somebody said the other night to me, "Oh, are you a horror actress? You're a horror actress." And I said, well, actually, I've played like every, you know, the greatest roles in American and European literature on stage. So I wouldn't call myself a horror actress at all. But in this town, that's one of the ways that you can get started, right? You can work with people and get going. And what I found is an incredible group of people who seem very committed to helping me succeed. And, you know, and I can give them something, they can give me something. So, I mean, you know, it's like, you just have to figure out what I guess works for you. I don't understand. I will say, Ron, I don't understand the pajamas, going to the store in the pajamas. I wouldn't be caught dead in that, but that's just because I'm not sure. I don't know.
Jennifer, how about you fly to New York in an airplane in pajamas?
I would die. I
I've seen them.
I literally would die. I can't do it.
On a red eye, they're in pajamas with pillows.
My father worked for Delta Airlines, and so basically up until I turned 21, I flew for free. But I had to wear a coat and tie from 3 years old. I had to wear a coat and tie on the plane. So like, I don't understand the pajamas thing.
I was from the.
Well, here you are. You guys look like you color match today. It looks like, I can't tell from my little. Looks like you're wearing Burberry and a beautiful.
We never do that.
It happened accidentally.
Normally we have a background. I don't know if you missed the beginning of the show. So normally we have a background. This is the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. But we have two rooms that we use, and they're both being painted and carpeted, and the house is a mess. So we didn't have a place to go because we also have to be cooked. We have to be hooked into the Wi-Fi.
All right, but don't go away from. I want to talk to Jen about what she said, because I'm so in favor of what she said. Art. In my day, we read a script.
Yes.
Okay, we read the whole script. Your part, my part, everybody's part. We didn't just highlight our part. Okay.
Exactly.
Then we got an idea of what we're going to do. So we developed our character. We studied our character in our mind's eye. Let's see what this guy's going to do in this role. We made wonderful films because we cared about the art, not just how many scenes we're in, how many pages of dialogue, or how much they're paying us. Today, that's all it is. Jimmy said, in order to get a star, in order to get his movies financed, he needs a name, a star. So the lender said to Jimmy, the first thing, who you got? I have Bette Midler. She's no good. She's finished. She's passé. Oh, yeah. Oh, they'll say that. They're very cruel. Barbara Streisand. Oh, she's gone with the wind. She's no good. She's no good. She's no good. So I suggested for my movie, Christopher Walken, who I grew up with. I know Chris Walken.
Amazing.
I know him since we went to high school together.
We just watched a movie with him. Was it The Dead Zone? And he was
wait. So somebody said to Jimmy, "Oh, he's passé. You're not going to get."
The distributor told me they won't give me money on Christopher Walken.
And he's the #1 box office in the world still. But that's what they go by. So now, if they want to hire you, Jennifer Moore, who is she? Let's see what she's got. Let's see. Now she's not going to bring up. Now we need 20 million. She's not a $20 million actress. She's a 5,000. You know, that's how they.
I produce a lot of movies. I have like 9. I have 27 movies on a slate, but I have 9 movies that are in different stages of development. But all of them, you know, I have to attach people to get the money, and they range from 1 to 17 million basically. And but I have to have, you know, people for all of those. And it's such a catch-22 because you can't get the star without the money, and you can't get the money without the star. So you have to depend on the relationships and the people that you meet, you know, to hopefully somebody can help, you know, that way.
And when the star knows that you need their name in order to get finance, they strangle you. But I want $4 million.
No, I mean, we have friends. I have friends who got an A-list star, and I don't want to mention names, but they needed the star. They had to pay $1 million for 6 hours.
Oh my gosh!
$1 million bucks for 6 hours. So
you
where's the art anymore?
So that's not really. So there is no art.
I want to be in. I want to be in street. Now you mentioned streetcar. If I'm too old now, I could play Streetcar's mother. But I mean, if I were a young man today, I guess all my life I've wanted to be. I wanted to play Streetcar. I wanted to be those part. I could have done it when I was young. I think it's one of the greatest writings ever.
Ever.
And
it's so brilliant. I mean, everything that Tennessee Williams wrote is so brilliant.
Than you. But if I went to money people today and said, you know what, I want to bring back Streetcar, they're going to say, who you got? Well, I have, let's say, Rock Hudson. Oh, he's not good. He's too old. Of course, if he was alive. So
it is
so that wonderful piece of work will never get seen by a new generation because they don't have the right person to play it. Brando was him. He was what's his name? The guy in Streetcar. What was his name?
Stanley.
Right.
Anyway, hold on. I want to steer this a little different. First of all, I want to know. So, when you lived in all the different places before you came back out here, how long ago did you come out here and get the Chobani commercial?
Okay, so I moved out here in 2018, and I came out with my daughters. One was a Joffrey ballerina, the Wilhelmina girl now, and my other daughter was quite young, but she's a fabulous actress. And so we came out thinking, well, maybe, this will be a better place. And I had lived in all these other spots. My husband likes to fish. And I had been in Seattle for 20 years raising kids. And I thought, you know what, let's go back to LA, to my home. And I stumbled into, do you guys know Jim Jordan? He's an amazing manager. He works in the modeling business.
I know the name, but I haven't heard it.
I know the name.
Okay. He, I think, discovered the Hadids, and he bumped into my daughter at the Malibu cook-off, chili cook-off, and signed my daughter to manage my youngest daughter. She was 14. And ended up going to acting classes with her. They asked me, hey, will you come to, hey, Mom, that's what they called me. I freaking hated that. Hey, Mom, will you come down and do this improv with this kid, this other boy? And I'm like, okay, sure, that's super awkward because he was like 17, but yeah, he's a young man. Yes, I will come down. And after I did this like freaking heavy drama, and the guy's bawling his head off and I'm bawling my head off. It's all about drugs. I'm very good at improv. I used to be in a company. I'm like, okay. I walk off stage and he goes, everyone's just going, what the freaking hell? Are you an actor? And I go, yeah, but that was like 20 years ago. I had a huge company. I did all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm not acting anymore on this guy. This coach was like, no, you need to get back to it. So that began. And then I landed Chobani. I got an agent. Finally, I found somebody to convince them to take my haggish self.
Yeah, haggish.
Sign me. And it was this gal who really didn't want to sign me, but I went out for my first audition and landed this freaking giant commercial with Chobani. It was my first audition. I got put on a veil. Then I got put on a veil and a veil and a veil. And I mean, it was kind of a kooky thing, but I absolutely made a really quick decision. This sounds terrible, but I hope the viewers support me. I trained my freaking butt off when I was young, and I studied, Ron, you'll love it. I studied the Stanislavski method. I don't think people even know who he is anymore in this town, but right. So I was all about dramatic imagination and emotional recall and all this. I'm like super method. And I get on these commercial sets and they're like, we don't care about that. Could you just give me that one line again? Just, could you just, and I'm holding a 200-pound Great Dane in stilettos for this Chobani commercial running down the sidewalk. And all the cameras, anonymous content, did this beautiful shoot, 100 people in the cast. And I'm standing there thinking, can I really say, Ma, I made it? Like, this is what I dreamed of being? No, because I fucking played, excuse me, I played.
It's okay.
I played Hedda in Hedda Gabler. I played The Taming of the Shrew, Catherine. You know, I played all these amazing roles, and Equus, and, you know, so many of the classical restoration comedies, current comedies, Alan Ayckbourn plays. And I trained to be something different than what I think the town grooms now. And so you know, you sit and try and have a meeting, take a meeting with an agent, and people look at you like you have a third eyeball right here.
Yes.
And so I thought, okay, this is not going to work. I'm not going to get work. I'm going to have to quit and go back home with my tail between my legs, or I'm going to have to do something. And I did this improv, and there was an actor, and I think he's also a producer, but his name was Carl Bressler, older guy. And he came up to me after the improv and he said, you need to write that story that you just did with that boy up there. You need to write that story. And I said, oh God, you know, what would I call it? The laundress? And he goes, exactly. And I did. And I wrote it as a play that got produced at the Victory Theater with my very dear college friend, Wayne Watkins, who directed it. And then I adapted it into a screenplay, and we shot it.
That's your film.
Yeah, that's my film.
I didn't know that you wrote it. So, okay, so that's amazing. And it got Eric and Eliza Roberts.
Yes, it did. And they took it on because they loved the script. It went over to Sovereign. I don't even know how. When my director called me and he's like, you're never going to believe who wants to attach to this script. And I was like, oh, you know, thinking it's going to be just somebody, you know, kind of a B-list or whatever, like somebody like, you know, me, but a good person, good, talented person. And all of a sudden they're like, no, it's Eric Roberts. And I thought, and this was when Eric was doing Damien Chazelle's movie Babylon. So he read the script, and then Eliza, they said, hey, you need somebody to play the villain's wife. And she's twisted and horrible in this movie. Oh my God, she's so fabulous. They said, why don't you audition Eliza? And she sent a tape over of the monologue, and I was like, done deal. That woman, the two of them together, and this isn't a crappy, and I'm going to say this because I love crappy indie. I love movies that cost $5,000. My first really big movie that I helped produce is called Bloomfield. For any of you guys out there that want to see me in a really cool witchy role, I have brown hair, but oh my God, it's a great little movie on Amazon Prime. So I love little movies like that, but this is the big movie that we produced, and my husband and I kind of really risked a lot for it. But those two took a very Tennessee Williams style. It's a Southern Gothic drama. And they were shocked when they came on set. I remember Eliza going, whoa, your voice, whoa, like what is happening here? And Eric goes, oh, you're shooting with an Ari. Oh my God, look how many crew people you have. And this is a big, big production. We had about 30 some people. And, you know, we shot with Eric and Eliza. I used them for 3 days. We shot in kind of record time for budget reasons. But the movie, I sent you guys over one of the little monologues. Did you guys get that?
I got the little clip from it, but I didn't realize that it was your. It was, first of all, it was too long because it's like 4 minutes long. Number one, I didn't realize that you wrote the film, and number two, I thought whoever's filmed this they don't want us to play this because this is such a huge. I mean, because the whole scene is you. Yeah. And I didn't get it. I got that you're the lead in the film, but I didn't realize that you wrote this film, which makes it even cooler. You guys, the Laundress, you guys. It's not. When's it going to come out? You know.
So it just got submitted, and I know this is, again, I'm sure everyone in the audience is like, oh, Sundance, but it did get submitted to Sundance as a work in progress. We are 98% through post, and we are kind of working in tandem through post-production with Mercury Pictures, which was Francis O'Toole's company, and his editor is the one guiding, you know, steering through the post. It's amazing. It's a heavy film. It's a redemption story. There's a tremendous, if you guys want to see me smash somebody, I'll smash somebody, but
I want you to tell me a little bit about it.
I'm sorry.
Tell me as much about it as you can.
Tell a little bit about the plot.
I'm interested. I'm curious now. What's the laundress? Who's the laundress? You?
So I'm the laundress. It's a Southern Gothic, so very Tennessee Williams style, heavy dialogue, hard to handle dialogue, heavy accents, all that kind of stuff. It's filmed in Charleston. We filmed it at this La Rocca Ranch, but it's set in Charleston, I should say. And it's a story about a woman who loses one of her twins. She's left home at a very young age. We don't know why. She goes out to Seattle, marries this dude. You don't really see a lot of this backstory, but she loses a twin in a terrible boating accident, goes back home with the surviving twin, who's 17-year-old Vivi. And they end up in the family home, which now no longer belongs to her because she's ended up divorced, broke, single. She goes back to this beautiful kind of antebellum home, and the aunt and uncle, Eric and Eliza Roberts played this role. They have now taken it in a fire sale and basically shut the doors to her unless she, in exchange, does their dirty laundry, their wash, for rent to stay in one of the garages that used to be one of the barns. And you see this woman trying to kind of struggle to get back up on her feet. She's an alcoholic. She's got this really emo goth child that's super disrespectful. She's going through all of these different men, trying to find somebody to kind of relate to. And the crux of the story becomes about an unrequited love with this Black man, this wonderful man named Romeo, who has stayed on the home, on the grounds, and caretaken for the house, and is still waiting for her to come home. And they hide a very intense secret, which is kind of I won't ruin the plot, but it's an intense secret.
No.
We don't want to tell the secret. I want to see it, and I can't wait for it to come out.
Yes, I'll watch it also.
So you guys,
No. You know what? We have so many people that come on that want us to watch their movies. Who has time? I don't have that kind of months to watch. You know, I
watch stuff from everybody who comes on before they come on.
Anyway,
but that, we can't see it. But I watched your clip that you sent.
No,
first of all, you guys, it's heavy duty drama. I mean, and Jennifer is amazing in it. I mean, it's so dramatic. It's like super intense.
No, it has. It definitely has substance.
Absolutely.
I only watch substance.
And I think it's funny that you said, you know, that you don't consider yourself, you know, because he's an actor and he has been in a lot of horror movies recently, but he's also got a lot of movies coming up that he's not in horror. He doesn't even like the horror movies.
I'm in the business 64 years. I'm a stage actor. I've been on the stage forever. They wouldn't hire me years ago in film. You know why? I was too ethnic looking. Now I look white. But back years Black, I could have been a Puerto Rican, Cuban, or a Black person. Right. I am dark skinned and my hair was jet black, with my everything black. I was just not photographable. So today at 83, they all want me because when they need an old bag, they say Russell. Because, you know, for two reasons. One, they get money for the film if they put me in it because I'm old. And no, it's true, because you have to put an old bag. It's part of diversity. You know, you need an old bag in a film.
And don't forget this shocking head of hair you have.
Yes, he does have a
shocking head. So
the hair is everything now.
It's now that I look white because I've lightened up as I've aged, and my white hair, and the only thing that's left of me is the black eyebrows. Well, I pass for white now, but I didn't pass for white when I was young. They thought I was Puerto Rican or Greek. And they just didn't want us in those days. They wanted Troy Donahue and Tab Hunter. If you weren't a blonde, blue-eyed Americana boy, screw you. They didn't want. I could have played only garbage roles, terrible people, because of my darkness. It's really sad.
So you guys, we'll let you know when The Laundress comes out, when it's actually available, after it makes its Sundance debut, and let's put it out there.
Well, and everybody, you know, for all of your horror fans, because I have 6 movies right now coming out. So Spider Baby just was released, and those are all on SoCal Cinema, on Dustin Ferguson's streaming channel. You can also find a lot of these on Roku and on Amazon. But Dark House of Mystery is a film noir that is a beautiful, beautifully photographed by Eric Anthony Russo, who's a super talented cinematographer.
Yeah, we know him.
You know him?
So I was looking at, because you've worked with a lot of different people that we've had on the show. Like in Spider Baby, we've had Brink Stevens, Tracy Burr, Vita Ghaffari.
We have everybody.
Yes.
And I know Robert Allen Mukes, Noel Jason Scott, and Eric Anthony Russo. And then
let me just interrupt you. We are on the air. How many years?
16.
16 years.
Wow.
Wait a minute. We do 4 stars a week.
No, 2.
2 stars a week. Times 4. Times 14. We've done over 4,000 interviews.
We've done a lot.
Amazing.
Wait a minute. But before that, I had a television show called Set the Record Straight, where I had on Lauren Bacall, Jane Russell, Terry Moore, Arlene Dahl. God, the list is Tab Hunter. The list just goes on and on and on. So in interviews, we have interviewed probably the entire movie industry.
We have everybody.
There aren't many people you're going to name that we don't know or we've worked with.
Actually,
Well, now you know me. Now you know me, and I'm here, so that's exciting.
I know Richard During and Lisa London has been on the show. We actually see her at a lot of premieres. And then you have the film Fiend, and we literally have had. Well, Ron's friends with Sally Kirkland, but we're friendly.
Amazing. Oh my gosh.
Melissa Rose, Vita Ghaffari, Donna Lee Heising. Ron plays her husband in a movie. Lisa London, Deborah Dutch was just at a premiere that we did because she's in a new movie that I'm producing.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful.
We've worked with a lot of the same people. And, and I think that.
I just want to say something, another interruption. For those of you out there who have Sally Kirkland on Facebook as your friend, please send her lots of love. Just say we love you, Sally, and send her hearts. She needs to be loved right now. Sally needs a lot of love right now.
For sure. She's an absolute gem. You know, Lisa London and I just finished Dark House of Mystery. So she's a peach. I love her. So I have another, I've got those 2 movies just came out. Then Stokes River Haunting, which was backed by After Hours Cinema and Fearflix. That's coming out in the spring. Laundress comes out in the spring. I'm in another movie that, Gates of Hell. I just have a little cameo in that, but people compared me to Jessica Lange, so I kind of like that. So,
there you go. Actually, we like. I said that's a good thing. There you go. We like Tracy Burr a lot. She's up and coming. She's very pretty. She's super nice. And we actually met her at a premiere one time. Like we met you at the thing and said, hey, let's come on the show.
But listen, the point I was going to make that I got lost talking about my stupid self was I now belong to the Helen Mirren Film Group, which I invented. It's people that became famous at 70. Helen Mirren's been around forever.
Yeah.
She's a new actress. People think she was born yesterday and became an actress. Helen Mirren is old.
Yeah.
She's way up there. And her success didn't come until she was old.
Really?
Yes. So
do you think there's some hope for me, Ron?
That's where I'm going. If you keep going and doing what you're doing, by the time you're Helen's age, you could be as successful as she is. Because everything you do, even your mistakes, are good because you learn. I don't ever, like, if I drop a line, I don't care. They'll say, oh, you dropped the line. I'll say, that's your line I dropped, not my line. My line is better. So I do. I give them my line. And most of the time, I play always a Brooklyn gangster because of my accent. And I'm from Brooklyn. So I tell the story all the time. I was in a movie playing a very tough killer hood. And the line was, let's make believe the line was, I'm going to get you hecked up, gosh darn. And I said to the director, this line's for the birds. Nobody in Brooklyn would talk that way. If they did, they'd get beat up. He said, well, what would you like? And I said, well, how about we do it this way? I ain't going to do it no more. What are you talking about? And he said, I love it. Let's use it. So sometimes we actors have to tell the writers, you know, you don't know what you're talking about. Now, you said you have a lot of heavy Southern accent in The Laundress, okay?
But you wrote it, so she's definitely okay
now,
with it.
I'm going there for a question. I go the back door. You know me, I'm sneaky. How frustrated were you when people couldn't get that accent right?
It's very challenging. My character is the one probably with the biggest accent. Eric, I guess, was born in, and I don't want to get this wrong, but I think he was born in Georgia. And one of the things that Eliza, I believe Eliza told me, was that he patterned, his role is named husband. He doesn't have a name. Everyone calls him husband. And he worked with someone for a while to work on all of the lines and so forth. But his accent was so spot on. It was so authentic because it's organically in his DNA. I mean, he said, I'm playing my grandfather. This is someone that, you know, and I don't want to put words in his mouth, but you know, it was fine for that. My daughter, because she's rebelling against the South, she did not have an accent. But I will just go back something you said about dropping lines. I don't know what it is with people right now in the town. I don't know if the coaches are saying this, but I am just happy, honestly, when people come to set and know their lines. All right. Like as a writer, it's so frustrating because this is the first of 3 scripts I have. I have 2 other movies that are in pre-production right now, Kapua Road and The Sirens. And when I am having people do table reads or they come in and they're working through things, totally fine. But when people show up on set and don't know their lines and are having to be fed one line at a time, I kind of freak out. I'm not used to that yet. And I guess that's something that's more and more accepted in film. But
I meant not dropping a line because you didn't know it. I meant dropping it because it was a bad line. When I did The Big Friggin' Rat, one of the gangsters, he was terrible as his New York, terrific guy, good actor, but his New York accent was so bad. And I said to the director, I said, we can't work this way because he sounds like he's from Chicago or someplace.
Oh, no.
He's a New York mafia killer guy. So I sat with him and I told him, gimme, not give me, it's gimme.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Talking, not talking.
Oh, yeah.
And he sat there and it was like a comedy act. Because,
But it worked.
No, it didn't. Because when I said to him something like, give me it, I'm going to shoot you. I said, do that. And he said, give me, I'll shoot you. It still didn't happen. So I just said, you know, okay. And the scene looks bad because he sounds Connecticut and I'm so Brooklyn. And the director said, Ron, I love it, but, you know, give me more.
So hang on, because we've only got a...
I know that, but I'm just saying about accents.
I know.
It's so important.
I get it. So I think that, first of all, congratulations, though, that you're actually writing your own stuff, putting your own stuff together, getting it made. You know, that just doing that is a huge accomplishment. So first of all, too, you guys can follow Jennifer on her Instagram. It's Jennifer L. Moriarty, and make sure it's Moriarty because sometimes people forget the R before the TY. So it's Jennifer Moriarty, Jennifer L. Moriarty on
Isn't
Instagram.
it pronounced Moriarty?
It's Moriarty. That's right. That's right. It's, you know what, I actually just saw a movie come out that I'm in that has my name spelled wrong on the cast list. I'm like, oh gosh, that's kind of a bummer. But you know what? It's a very common mistake. So no worries.
If you remember Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, I do.
His arch enemy was Moriarty.
Do you want to know something even crazier, Ron? Is that his arch enemy is James Timothy Moriarty III, right? Which is, or just, I guess, James Timothy Moriarty. And that's my husband's name. So when I married into this family, every single place that I went, and they would say, what's your husband's name? And I'd say, oh my God. And then like, do you read Sherlock Holmes? Oh my gosh, this is my favorite one. And I'd be like, you know, I gotta go. So could we just like
All right, so here's the next thing, because we only have like 5 minutes.
Okay.
I want to know, and this is something we ask all the actors who come on the show. Basically, it's like kind of like my question. So bucket list, male and female actor that you would, I don't know what that is flying. A male and female actor you would like to work with. It could be living or dead. And if you could have ever been in any movie ever been made in history, what movie would you have liked to have been in?
Okay, so it's Out of Africa, #1, would have been the movie I would have wanted to make.
Okay.
And I would say that if I could work with somebody, and I'll choose a living person, but right now I'd like to do, I'd like to work with Cate Blanchett. That would probably be my bucket list. And then I think as far as male actors, you know, oh gosh, I don't know. That's a hard one. Probably Denzel right now, just because we're similar age. And I think that I watched him in Macbeth with Francis, and I mean, listen, being able to pull that role off and be so compelling to people who don't listen to a lot of Shakespeare, understand classical theater, maybe, you know, to have that go mainstream and what he did, I just think he's quite brilliant. I always have, but there's so much talent, and it doesn't have to be somebody like that. It could be somebody even that is in the next casting room. But I think it's about mindset. It's about really what I get back to is making beautiful movies that people remember and are moved by and feel represented by. And I didn't tell you, I just want to throw one last thing in because you guys were talking about Ukraine and all of this. I have a script that I just got protected. And is it okay if I talk about that for a second? My manager's sitting here. It's called my manager, my husband right now is acting as my manager. It's called The Sirens, and it's basically a twist on Homer's Iliad and the Odyssey. And I basically retold the story of the sirens, you know, Odysseus, when he goes and discovers the sirens in the cage. But it's set in post-apocalyptic Ukraine. So 10 years after the war in Ukraine, this cult of women are survivors and become cannibals to survive by being sirens in this riverbed. And it's an insane thriller. And it's quite cinematic and very beautiful. And I'm just looking for, I'm looking for some investors right now, but that's a movie. I'm going to shoot a proof of concept over Thanksgiving. And then I have 2 more movies coming out that I just got booked in an action movie for next year. And also in a retelling of a 1963 movie that you guys are going to remember. I can't tell you what it is yet, but somebody is remaking. It's 50 years old. Yeah. So that's coming.
So that's fantastic.
You want to get financing for your script, Siren?
Oh, I'm looking right now. That's a huge mission for me.
Brad Pitt. You'll have money in a minute.
Yeah.
He
won't make a very good siren.
No, and it does have a leading role for a man, a couple of men, a couple of Russian soldiers, and one man who is the lead in the movie. But it's a compelling story. Great vehicle for it's an ensemble cast. I'm not spotlighting that, but it's a beautifully, I think it's a beautifully written movie, very different than Laundress, very different than Kapua Road. Kapua Road is more of a supernatural thriller.
Because that way you don't get pigeonholed. Unfortunately, that's what the problem with a lot of the people in horror. You can't get out of horror because that's all they do. And the fact that you're doing all different genres, he's doing the same thing, all different genres. That's what needs. And I do that as a producer. I produce horror in all different genres.
I was called an elitist by some jerk on Facebook because I said that I didn't want
to. 1 minute, so
I only wanted to be in SAG movies. I don't want to be in non-SAG. And they call me an elitist.
I just want to, I don't care if somebody has no money, but they have a beautiful script that makes a difference to us. I care less.
That though the movies coming out would be so much better if people were more interested in the script than who's in them. That would be
I agree. One last thing, can I ask you guys, since we only have a few seconds left, first of all, I want to say thank you, and to your fans, thank you. And follow me. I really appreciate the love and support. And also, if you all have a great agent that you all think would be interested in me, send them to my Instagram or have them call me. And again, I really appreciate that you guys took the time to talk with me and get to know a little bit more about me.
I liked you instantly. The minute I met you, I had good vibes. I knew you were. No, if I don't like someone, I can't interview them well because it's like anything. If you don't like someone, you don't have conversation. And I like.
And this is a conversation show.
Yeah, we're a conversation show, and I liked you immediately. I thought you impressed me.
And I'm going to put you on my list.
You impressed me because you look like a movie star.
Because
you look like an actress. You behave like an actress. I don't like common low-life trash that humiliates us actors by acting terrible. We owe the public something.
I will put you. I have a list of people once they come on the show because that way I can contact them. People always looking to me for like
you were glamorous.
For people who can come on. For people who can come in movies, because like everybody comes to me wanting to know who's a good actress or an actor that I know that I could introduce them to, for stuff. So I'll put you on our list, and I think it's terrific your work, and congratulations on everything. And it's great to have you on the show.
Laundress really sounds like a very, very good movie.
Absolutely.
Well, you guys better come to that premiere when we have it, all right? Because that's going to mean a lot to me.
Absolutely.
We will definitely come. All right. So everybody, Jennifer Moriarty, follow her on Instagram.
Thank you so much. Lovely guys. Thank you.
Hey, you guys, we're gonna take a real quick music break. We're gonna play "What the World Needs Now Is Love" by Irene Michaels, and when we come back, we'll be with Hilton Ariel Ruiz. Take it away, Juan.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another meadow. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow. There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine. Oh, listen, Lord, if you wanna know what the world needs now is love, love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for
Yay. All right, everybody, now we're going to bring on our next guest. Let's see if we can hear him and everything goes smooth here. Hello, Hilton. How are you?
Hey, you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you
Yeah, but
fine.
you're too
You're a
dark.
little bit dark. Do you have a light?
Let me go see.
What the world needs, the world does need love.
There we go. That's better. That's better. That's better.
No, it's
Oh, no,
not.
it got worse when you sat
No,
down.
it's
Let's see.
terrible. Don't you have a
There, right there. That's good. That's good. Stay right there. All right. All right, everybody.
How's
Now we,
everything?
now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, one of my favorite people that I've never actually met, but we talk on the phone and do Zooms and text all the time. Writer, director, producer, Hilton Ariel Ruiz. Hello and welcome to the show.
Yay! What's up, guys? Thank you for having me on the show.
So you've never met Ron, so this is my husband.
What's up, Ron?
Man About Town co-star, Ron Russell.
Yeah, sure.
It-
and this is Astro.
And this is Astro.
Uh-oh.
We have a chat room with people in the chat room. So say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hey, what's up, guys?
There you go. So tell everybody, where are you? Where are you? Oh, you have a Christmas tree up already.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
So where are you?
Wait, hold it. How come you put your Christmas tree up? Did they tell you you're going to die soon or something?
No, that's decorations from the wife. She just you
Can't wait for Christmas, huh?
can't wait for Christmas. And you want to see something else?
Yeah. What do we got?
More Christmas
So
hey, listen, if I even showed you the house, you would go crazy. But that's
we have 2 Christmas trees also.
Yeah.
But I put ours up Thanksgiving.
Oh my God! Quit calling me, people.
Usually my daughters are here for Thanksgiving dinner, and after dinner I con them into helping me decorate the tree.
I love it. Yes. All right. So you guys, Hilton is coming on. Hilton is a genius. All right, you guys. So
Okay, how is he? a
So he
genius?
has, first of all, he came up with the concept and he created a comic book, you guys, called Zombie with a Shotgun.
Oh,
Of which
that's who
he
you
turned,
are.
then he turned it into a like a web series, right? Like a little TV series.
yes.
And then he turned it into a short. And
Right.
then he turned it into a feature film, you
Right.
guys, that is distributed all over the world. And
Right.
now he did that with no money, and now he's coming back and he's doing an actual film with like big name horror movie actors, and it's called Zombie with a Shotgun 2 Reloaded, which has launched an Indiegogo campaign a week ago, and I want you to tell it, and it's the coolest thing ever. Plus, it's got a bunch of comic books, and it's everything that anybody who loves this kind of stuff loves. I can't help it. I love it. I get all excited. This is a really cool
And
thing.
he's not even Italian.
Um,
And he moves his hands like an Italian.
I'm moving into town. Well, I'm from right now. I'm Long Island. Long Island got a lot of Italians and New
Where
York.
are you on Long Island? I'm from Long Island.
I'm in Huntington right now. I grew up in I actually grew up in Lower East Side Manhattan, and I just moved out here.
Off, what is it? A 52 on the Long Island Expressway?
Look at that! Yes, you're
I
good.
used to-
It's a 51 and 50. It's 51 and 52.
I used to live in Setauket, which was exit 62 on the Long Island Expressway.
You got to go north all the way to.
And then you go all the way north. Yeah, we're moving back to Long Island. We're moving to Southampton. Yeah,
Wow.
we're moving to Southampton. Yeah, I miss Long Island.
Yeah, we'll be. Oh, that's about 45 minutes away from me.
yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, we're all the way out. We're on the Sunrise Highway, all the way out, right underneath West Hampton.
Yeah, I know exactly. That's okay. That'd be by the airport, right? You got West Hampton.
No airport.
Okay, so you're a little bit further out. Okay, because West Hampton is on the airport, and then if you keep on going down, yeah, you're going to be a little bit further down.
We're close. Which way is it? I forgot now.
Anyway, it doesn't matter because I want to talk about the movie. 'Cause we're money. So first of all, I want to tell everybody. So tell everybody, what is the concept with the zombie with the shotgun, and how come the zombie's not like? How come the zombie has his marbles?
So when I first started, so let's go back. 2012 is when I created the whole concept of Zombie with a Shotgun, which was really interesting because even back then, creating the whole web series and everything like that, I never think that it would get as big as it is now. So I wanted to do my own sort of interpretation of the zombie genre, which was a half man, half zombie. I've never really seen it on the cinema or anywhere anybody take it to that level. And it was just, I wanted to tell my own story about this guy who's sick and cannot figure out why he has all the characteristics of a human, but yet, out facial and everything was all zombified. And he was on the run. And also I wanted to tell a love story, a different type of love story with whole zombie with a shotgun.
With a shotgun.
Yeah, and basically that's how it all started. It started as this story about this guy who's sick, who has a zombie virus, and it becomes the point that he is the most wanted guy out there. You know, the pharmaceutical companies is going after him. Then you have all these sort of like bounty hunters after him, and he's trying to figure out what is going on. So in part 1 on the feature, there's this whole thing that happens where there's the witch who's after him, the pharmaceuticals are after him, the bounty hunters are after him. So when we finish part 1, it leaves to a cliffhanger of what is going on with this guy who's half man and half zombie. And we find out, of course, he has this sort of genetic code on his body that's able to not be fully zombie.
Which, you know, a lot of people have stolen that idea from you, because, you know, there's that new zombie show. I forgot what it's called. Everybody loved it so much with the Spanish guy with the little girl, and the little girl has to get to safety. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of things like it, sort of, and I just like, you know, I just kept on going with the whole thing, and that's why where part 2, you're right, I started seeing it coming out a little bit more. So I was like, hey, how can I now take the story that I have in part 1 and not keep it in the same sort of like grounds? Like, I felt it would be sort of like generic if we left it from exactly where we left off in part 1.
But does your zombie eat people?
No.
Just kills them.
When he has to. Yes. It's sort of, like I said, he has all the characteristics of a human being. It's just his facial.
Your zombie's not like the Night of the Living Dead.
No,
zombie.
totally different.
No, it's a totally different. And that's where we were promoting from the very first one, that this was not a typical zombie film. And this where we, again, going back to the second one, I wanted to sort of like evolve it much more. So where I said, hey, you know what, let's introduce vampires. And the vampires and the zombies are sort of the same sort of, you know, they're both dead. And, you know, one is, of course, has intelligence, and zombies are not supposed to have intelligence.
But yours does.
Yeah. So where in part 2, the vampire clan is very confused of saying, how come this zombie has intelligence like us? And that's why they want him. They want to know. And in part 1 also, what I left out was in part 1, the witch steals his heart. In part 2, he's looking for it, and everybody wants their heart. And of course, the vampire.
So here's what I want to do, so people get an idea. So we're going to play just the trailer for Zombie with the Shotgun 1, the very first film.
Let's do it.
We're going to play the trailer. You introduce it, and then Juan's going to play it. So, Ron, play the trailer one, not the Indiegogo campaign one. Zombie with the Shotgun trailer. You introduce it, and we're going to play it.
Why don't you want to show the campaign?
We're going to do that one, too.
You want me to introduce it?
Yeah, you introduce it. It's your baby.
All right, guys. This is Zombie with a Shotgun part 1, and this is the trailer. This came out in 2019. Roll.
Careful with that gun.
Of course. Take them to the lab and get them tested and processed immediately.
And now with this dream becoming a reality, I will give you anything you want for your great contribution.
What is so special about them?
Not sure.
Listen. We're both going to die.
So let's make it easy.
Your government doesn't tell you everything you need to know.
Lied to me.
Yay! Ron wants to know.
I'll ask him. We gotta be my.
Tell me.
He likes to answer for me like I'm brain dead. Who did the makeup on the zombie? Fantastic. That is the ugliest fucking zombie I've ever seen. It's many uglier than that one.
So there were a lot of makeup
Who
artists.
did the makeup? Who did the
He's
makeup?
telling you.
Yeah, so there were a lot of makeup artists that were in part one, but the main finale, the one that, of course, he when he roars, is done by Ben Bornstein, which it is amazing makeup artist. I would love to bring him back on board on.
Well, please put him in the second one.
Part two.
That when the scene opened up with that ugly thing, he really is the most disgusting zombie I've ever seen.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's a compliment.
That's
in
the
the zombie
truth.
world, that is a compliment. You gotta say.
Well, no. I mean it is a compliment.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I mean he was frightening looking and skeevy with the
I know,
orange
no.
and the ugly.
We were so lucky with Ben coming on board. I mean, that was just an amazing job.
Great work. Good as an artist. Great work.
So you guys, Zombie with the Shotgun 2 Reloaded. We launched an Indiegogo campaign. I say we because I'm one of the producers on the film.
Yep.
And we have all kinds of very cool perks. You know, it's not like other people's Indiegogo campaigns. There's no acting perks. You know, everybody in the film is a professional actor, but there are great perks with comic books. You can be an extra, but you don't get to speak. You know, there's a whole bunch. What are some of the cool perks that you've got going on?
You got DVDs. You have a director's chair. You have an action figure.
The action figure one is awesome.
Posters, signed scripts. I said the VHS, right?
Oh yeah, VHS, a VHS tape of the first one or the second one.
Is the action figure the ugly
Sure.
thing?
Yeah.
That I want one of those.
Yeah. He's the guy who's creating that action figure. I think next week he's going to be previewing.
So he's going to copy it exactly, right?
I'm sorry, say it again.
The figure will look exactly
like the
that is one scary.
Yeah. No, I think it's cool. I think it's definitely cool to have that.
Scare the shit out
And you
of
guys,
a lot
this
of people.
campaign is so cool because the artwork and everything, because it's based on a comic book. The artwork is phenomenal. How many Zombie with a Shotgun comic books are there? 3 so far, right?
There are 5 altogether.
5. Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's 5. Yes, there are 5 of them right now.
You know, Jimmy and I are in 2 comic books.
Yes, I did hear about that. Yes, that's awesome.
I love it. I love the whole comic book culture. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys can go to Indiegogo.com and plug in Zombie with a Shotgun 2 Reloaded. But what we're going to do is play the Indiegogo campaign video that Hilton did for everybody. And I want everybody to know we really would love.
Wait, we didn't critique the movie. Let me tell you something. I like the photography. It was clear and clean. I don't like dirty, sloppy photography. Very clear and clean. It moved. It looks like it could be a good movie.
The first one is a good movie, you guys. Where do they see the first one if they want to see it? Where do they go?
If they want to go see the film, Tubi's the best place because it's there for free. Amazon also, but I'm not sure. I think you might have to be a member of Amazon. I'm not 100% sure, but I think Amazon has a sort of like a sister branch to the Amazon thing called Freevee, which is also it's free there. But Tubi is probably the best place where you can watch.
A lot of Tubi. We watch a lot of Tubi.
Part 1 there. Yeah, it was an awesome. When we wanted to the first times coming on with the DP and everything, we wanted to have a Noir style look of the film, and Italian DP Giuseppe did such an amazing job on that look and everything. We just he just nailed it on that, and that was and that's why it has that look.
I love it.
Now, how old are you? You look young.
I am 46 years old. I actually do look
46. Is it our television today? Everybody's old and they look young.
No, I listen. Everybody, this is just.
You look 28 years old.
Everybody, let me tell you something. Everybody that sees me is just not. I mean, literally every single day I get it. People tell me no way because I have grown-ups. I have a daughter that's becoming a doctor. She's about to graduate. I have my son is going to get his master's, and people just see me with my kids and they be like, no way. I was like, no, those are my kids.
Oh my God. When you say kids, I was thinking like 3, 4, and 5. Not like graduating college and getting jobs.
Yeah, I have and it's and I have 2 more in high school, but in 3 years, the last one is done. But no, it's look,
it's good.
I'm lucky that I look the way I look, but
I have a 54-year-old daughter, And when my daughter and I are out, they think we're husband and wife.
Wow.
And I'm 83, so that's saying something.
No, let me tell you, I go out with my daughter. They look at us and they were like, "Wait a minute." I'm like, "No, dude, that's my daughter now. Stop." Even my son, we go out when we go to the gym. They always ask, "Oh, that's your brother?" I'm like, "No, it's not my brother."
Now, where do you live? You live in Huntington?
I live in Huntington right now. I grew up on Lower East Side Manhattan all my life.
Station or Huntington?
Huh?
Are you in Station or Huntington?
Huntington.
So I know where you are. I know exactly where you are. There's
Yeah.
a wonderful restaurant I used to go to there, the Castle. Is the Castle still there?
My God, you know,
It's a real castle.
I think I know what you're talking about. If that's the case, yes.
It was on what was it, 110 or something? No, on that main road that goes from north to south.
Yes, 110. It's 110. You have 231 is Deer Park, and 110 is the Walt Whitman Road.
And the castle is on it. It's a real castle.
I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about. I see it when I drive by. There's so many restaurants. You know, it's the Huntington.
I lived in Huntington briefly about 40 years ago, when Huntington was the forest. It was woods. It was country.
So hang on, we're gonna play the Zombie with a Shotgun Indiegogo, but before we play it, we're gonna tell everybody some of the people that are already in the film, you guys. Some of the people that are gonna be in Zombies with the Shotgun too. Vincent Ward, you guys, you know him from The Walking Dead, obviously. He was also in Traffic and Ocean's 11. We have Lynn Lowry from the Crazies, the original Crazies, and Shivers. All these people are iconic. Bill Oberst Jr., who's been on our show many, many times. He's got a bunch of Emmys. He's from 3 from Hell, Scream Queens, and Criminal Minds, where he got his Emmy. Monique Dupree, who was just on our show like 2 weeks ago.
Wait, I got to talk about Monique. Monique is 150 years old. She's got about 1,000 children with a body that doesn't quit. She's probably one of the most beautiful black women I know. I love Monique. So fellas, go watch the movie, because you know what her bra size is? A 36H.
Yeah, she told us that on the air.
So when you see this movie, you'll have a little added bonus by getting turned. She's the sexiest woman in the world.
Don't see the movie. Donate to the Indiegogo campaign.
I love Monique. She's a sweetie pie. All
right, so Hilton, so Juan, he's going to introduce the Indiegogo campaign and play the video for us. Please introduce it for us, Hilton.
Yes. So hey guys, I want you guys to check out the video that we're going to be showing. This is the pitch to the campaign for Zombie Shotgun Part 2, and here is the video. Roll it. So I'm Hilton Ida Ruiz, and we are making a sequel to Zombie with a Shotgun. And many of you guys have been asking this for the last couple of years. So I have to tell you that I have to thank all you guys, because you guys are so amazing. From the beginning of 2012, since Zombie with a Shotgun started, you guys supported it from the web series to the comic series to the feature, and you guys are still supporting me, and I need your support once again for the sequel. Now this time around, we are going to be shooting in West Virginia, in a cabin in the woods, but we have an amazing cast on board. We have vampires, we have witches, we have zombies, we have bounty hunters, and of course, we have shotguns. And we have wonderful perks. You know, we have a VHS, we have DVDs, we have an action figure, we have t-shirts, hats, you want to be a zombie, we have producing credits, we have thank you credits. We have so many wonderful stuff, and every week we're going to add more and more. Now, I have to tell you though, the only way this is going to happen if you guys come on board and help us. Please go to the campaign, choose a perk. So there it goes, guys. There's so many perks for you guys to choose from. And again, I have to thank you guys one more time. This film only could be made because of you guys. And just like the first one, it was done because you guys supported the project from the beginning to the end. And again, with your help, we were able to do the sequel. Thank you, and I'll be updating you guys as the weeks go by. Yay! There we go.
One thing about it is that I don't know if the campaign says where to go. You got to go to Indiegogo.com/zombie with a shotgun 2 or something like that. You guys see all the pictures we put out in social media? You have the QRC code. All you have to do is hook onto the QRC code. It'll take you right to it.
Yes. /WA2 reloaded.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
I love it, you guys. The comic books are fantastic. The artwork is phenomenal. And Camden Toy, I don't know if we mentioned Camden Toy is also going to be in it.
Yes.
Camden Toys from like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and what else is Camden Toy? He's from so many things. He's been on our show, but it was a long time ago that we had him on the show.
And also, if you want to watch my Academy Award performance win, watch this movie. He doesn't even know a minute. You don't even know.
Yes, I do know. I do know.
Yes. Am I playing a vampire? I wish I was.
We don't know. Jimmy and I had spoken about it last week.
I want to play a vampire before I go.
There are a couple of roles. I guess we could definitely talk about that when we.
I want to play a vampire before I die.
Before you die.
I'm in all these horror movies. I'm always a cop, or a mafia.
They're all saying action figure for.
You know what? Go see my Halloween pictures of me as a vampire on Facebook.
Anyway, you guys, Ron. We don't know what Ron's going to be, but Ron's going to be in John.
Ron is in the film. That's all I'm going to say. Ron is definitely on the film.
Over the next year, you're going to be hearing us talk about this a lot because we're going to get it funded. Then we're going to go shoot it in West Virginia.
So we're
going to have a really good time, and you'll get to see Ron along with all these other stars.
I'm going to do a big narcissistic bullshit thing now.
Go for it.
So all of my millions of fans who love and adore me, give to this movie because it sounds like it's going to be a good movie. And we need some good film because those of you who read Facebook know that I hate what's out there now. It's all shit. They get crappy scripts and terrible people working in film. This man sounds like an artist. I think just listening to him, you get the vibes I get, that he cares about this movie. He sees art in this movie. It's just not women's tits being blown off and blood and guts like most of these crappy films are. Just by that monster, that zombie alone tells me this is a sophisticated, elegant, high-class horror movie.
Absolutely.
It's not a piece of shit.
And you guys, we have other celebrities that are going to be attached. Some of them we're not allowed to say anything about yet until we raise the money, but you're going to be super impressed. All the people we've already got attached, everybody knows them from horror, and we've got 2 other ones that are even bigger. So once the money comes in, we'll be able to tell you who they are. Plus, Ron's going to be, and we're going to be adding some other cast members. And I think that the cheapest perk is like $10. You guys can, just to help make the movie happen, you can give us $10. Or if you want to get a poster or something for your room, there's lots of cool perks. And everybody should get the comic books. So get the perks with the comic books so you can read the comic books.
What's the minimum donation?
I think it's $10, right?
$10, yeah. It's $10 minimum.
Hilton, stop. $10. Get in your car, go to Starbucks, and order a croissant and a coffee. That's like $10.
That is like $10.
And here you could give a film that's going to make so many people happy, so many poor people who don't have what you have. All they have is film.
What do you mean poor people?
Poor people. Listen, the demographics are the biggest audiences of television are poor people because they can't afford the $100,000 to go to the movies and get popcorn.
Well, I can't afford the $100,000 to go to the movies and get popcorn.
No, wait a minute. Listen, you guys. Listen and learn. Television is the #1 thing that old people who can't get out, disabled people. So this is a very important film to have. You're giving to people. You're giving somebody, maybe a grandmother or an old aunt or something to watch that's decent.
Yeah.
That's my feelings.
Anyway, you definitely want to support the campaign, you guys. You also want to follow Hilton on Instagram. He's Hilton Ariel Ruiz. It's Zombie with a Shotgun on Instagram. He's also on Twitter. It's Zombie W a Shotgun, I think, right?
Yeah, it's Zombie WA Shotgun.
A shotgun, and you're still Hilton Ariel Ruiz.
So what is it? The zombie runs around with a shotgun shooting people.
Well, look, Somewhat, and I appreciate Ron what you're saying. Definitely, it's definitely a different type of film. It's not what the title definitely could be. The title is awesome. It's cool. It could be quirky.
What's the most?
That's what a lot of people feel about the title, and I think that's what's cool about the title. But it is not the typical zombie film that people is going to think about.
The zombie has a shotgun because everybody wants to know why the zombie is why is he got intelligence? They want to capture him. He has to have the shotgun to defend himself.
I was going to ask Hilton what the motive was, what the zombie's motive was for going out shooting people. Was he just nuts?
To protect himself.
Protect himself. So he eventually, So exactly with Jimmy said, it's all about protecting himself. And
is your dialogue good? I'm a dialogue freak.
Yes, absolutely. And the film, not to give too much spoilers or anything like that, but the film has a story. It's more of a story-based film than just a shoot 'em up film.
Okay.
Yes, the fans will get their shoot 'em up scenes and stuff like that, but it's a story. It's a story.
Okay, you got it.
People that fall in love.
It's a love story.
A vampire falls in love with a zombie. So there you go. And we have to follow the story of these two people that fall in love, and it's like a Romeo and Juliet kind of thing. They don't belong to each other.
So, Hilton, how do we get to see the first one?
Tubi.
You could go to Tubi. Or you could go to Amazon. Again, I would just say go to Tubi because I'm not sure how Amazon works with the subscription.
Where can you see it for free?
Tubi.
Well, what are you, him? Are you?
Nobody
Hilton?
said it like 8 times.
Is your name Hilton?
We fight all the time.
You know what? Listen to me.
It's on Tubi, you guys.
I'm with my fucking enemy here. All right?
It's on
You
Tubi.
have to realize that the demographic of our show are a lot of older people. They don't get it the first time. And that's why I repeat it over and over again so they get it. He doesn't know how to sell his ass if he was a fucking hooker.
Yeah, right. Anyway, you guys, it's on Tubi. The Indiegogo campaign is Zombie with a Shotgun 2 Reloaded. If you just go to Indiegogo and plug in Zombie with a Shotgun 2, it'll come up.
Go watch the movie. This way you know what you're investing in.
Well, that's the first movie.
What are you, the fucking
I know, but I want to make sure people know because that's not what they're investing in. They're investing in the second one that has filled.
It's the continuing. The sequel is the continuing of part 1. Of course, the sequel is going to start off the way part 1 ended, and that's good. That's awesome.
Let me reiterate clearly because fuckface here screwed me up. Listen, watch the first Shotgun movie. Then you will see what you are investing in, and you will say, yes, this is a movie I want to invest in. How can you invest in something when you don't know what you're investing in? Only a moron does that. So watch the first movie. When you love it, you'll say, okay, I'm going to invest because this movie is going to be better than the first one. Now, what have you got to say, Maricon?
Perfect. That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. And the second one is being made with the budget, you guys. So it'll be bigger and better. While as the first one, was really not made with the budget. The second one's going to be made with the budget. That's why you have all these stars coming into the film. And it's going to be phenomenal. And it's based on the comic book, and you can get a perk and you can
if you watch the first
$10.
If you watch the first show, you heard me say that the only time I will be in a non-SAG film is if it's a good script. And this is a SAG film.
This is a SAG film.
Because I'm tired of those non-SAG shitaroos.
Absolutely. No, this won't be like that at all. So I have a question because we have 6 minutes left. So what are some of your favorite horror movies since you're you're building a franchise, right now. You're building your own franchise, which is very difficult to do, and I give you props for that. So what are some of your favorite horror movies?
Exorcist is my favorite, probably everybody's favorite, I would say, and I love Dead Zone is one of my favorites also. Cronenberg.
Yeah, very good.
Christopher Walken. Even though a lot of people don't consider horror, it falls in the horror genre, and I love it. A franchise, Halloween is my favorite horror franchise. And then if you have the other ones that come around, I like them all. But my favorite horror franchise is definitely Halloween.
I like the Saw franchise actually a lot.
Say again?
I like the Saw franchise a lot, and
the Saw franchise is good
because I'm friends with Pinhead and everybody. I like the
You
Hellraiser
mentioned
one.
Christopher Walken, didn't you?
Yes, from Dead Zone. That's because that's his favorite one of his favorite movies.
I know Chris. I went to dances with Chris's wife, Georgiana. I know.
That's awesome.
Chris. I got all my birthday cakes from his aunt's bakery on Broadway and 31st Street in Astoria, Queens.
Oh wow!
So I know Chris. We used to ride the BMT together at 3 a.m. He was working on Broadway he playing one of the kids in The King and I, and the train was empty, and he and I would sit and talk. So I know Chris for many years. Also, my cousin Bertha was best friends with his brother, who owned the bar.
Yeah, he's amazing. A Dead Zone to me is definitely one.
Well, no, if you need me to contact him for you, I can.
That would be awesome. That might be something that we'll have to think about. Like, I guess when Jimmy and I and the other guys, if we have a cast that we need to fill, yeah, that might be an awesome plug-in. Yeah.
You guys, we have a great team too. If you go to the Indiegogo campaign, you can see all the other producers and people who are involved. They're all, top notch. It's a top notch cast and a top notch crew.
Yeah, I call it a producing team. I call it the dream team. Those guys, Jimmy and Brian and Matt and Bill. I mean, the guys. It's just amazing how everyone has their own like niche and personality. It's just, I love it. It's just a great conversation when we get on the phone. It's awesome.
Yeah, be married to him. It's another story.
Yeah.
Be married.
So did you watch
10 years?
Were you like a fan of like The Walking Dead? Like, did you watch The Walking Dead?
Oh yes, I love The Walking Dead. I would say probably one of the best television. First 4 or 5 seasons was probably one of the best television out there during that time. I watched it, and then I loved it. I just couldn't follow it after a while. There was just so much, after a while you just couldn't follow it all. But
it got kind of ridiculous. But I think the first, we had tons of people from the first, I think 2 or 3 seasons. I think we had a ton of the cast members. Michael Rooker. We had a whole bunch of the people come on from the first couple of seasons, and it was fabulous. They're like,
that show was just that was top notch.
I loved it.
I think I'm going to talk on this show.
No, you're not. Just
lemonade went down the wrong pipe.
So you guys, once again, it's called Zombie with a Shotgun 2 Reloaded. It's on Indiegogo. It's going to be a lot of fun. You want to follow Hilton in social media for all of his updates. I couldn't think of the word. All the updates. They're even going to do a new perk soon where you can watch the film. We can watch the first film.
Come on, $10. What's $10? Give me a break.
You can watch the first one with Hilton and Brian, one of the producers.
I'll tell you what. Let me say this. Don't send $10. Send $1.
You can't.
What? You can't? Yes, you can. I'm making a new law because we have 5 million viewers. So if every viewer sent $1, we would have $5 million for this movie.
That would be awesome.
All right.
Yeah, I and again, if you go out and watch, the first one, you could also watch the web series. Also, it's on Amazon is actually charging. Don't ask me why they're charging it, but you could go to Plex TV, and Plex TV has it for free. You can watch that, and if that's something you like, you enjoy, definitely come to the campaign, the Indiegogo.com/ZWAS2 Reloaded, or you just could even go onto Indiegogo and type in the search Zombie Shotgun 2, and it'll come up, and you can see our wonderful perks we have there. Okay, and this is a dream. As an independent artist, all of us being independent artists, it's a dream for this to happen. We started something with nothing, with no money whatsoever, and to come that far from 2012 to 2023, it's amazing. I would never think that from 2012 I'll be here talking about a sequel. I just was just like, it's an amazing thing, and I think that's for people who support independence and independent film and independent art. This is it. This is the essence of what independent filmmaking is and where it is able to go to, and that's where we're at right now. We're right now up on the top, and we want to create this badass zombie film. So I ask you guys to please donate and
always remember the Night of the Living Dead, the original film, the black and white, the first one.
Yeah,
it's done on $65,000, and today it's a #1 classic horror film.
Yeah, it's as I would say, the modern father of zombies, or the birth of zombie films. It's amazing. That film to this day you can watch it and just like, wow, just the way it was shot, the way it looks, you know, it's amazing.
All right, everybody, we're out of time. So please join the Indiegogo campaign. If you cannot contribute, retweet, repost, so more and more people see the opportunity, because we want to make a great film. And we're going to be bringing other cast members on the show eventually, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So Hilton, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you guys.
I'm sorry that I'm coughing on your time.
You sure you don't got the zombie virus? Help this guy.
Listen,
thank you,
looking forward to meeting you.
Absolutely.
We're going to be on.
We got to go.
We're going to be on Long Island in the spring.
Well, I'm here.
When do you want to shoot?
When we raise the money.
Okay. So we'll see you in the spring.
We'll see you soon. All right, you guys.
I'm in the island. Let's see each other. Take care, guys.
Hey,
bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye. All right, everybody.
Bye-bye.
We're off, you guys. We're going to go to Hollywood. We're going to the premiere of The Garden of Eden, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Can turn out to be so wrong. Yeah, we in the mix. Yeah, we in the mix. It's another episode. Here we go. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Interviewing the hottest, newest, and truest of today's celebrities. Make sure to subscribe so you can get notified weekly. Jimmy Star, he's the king of cool. Ron Russell, he's a gorgeous dude. Chat room is live, and you would be a fool not to vibe with us at the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Come watch it live on W4CY Radio. Miss some past episodes? Download on iTunes. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. It's the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.